Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Suburban Dad channel. Today I'm going to explore a brand new bottle with you. I'm going to open it and try it for the very first time with you today. I've never had this before. Today I'm going to try Russell's Reserve 10-year straight bourbon. So I'm excited to try this out and see what it's like. You guys get to see my honest gut reaction to what it's like. Let's go. Historically, I have avoided bottles like this. This bottle is from the Wild Turkey line, and the reason I've never gotten into Wild Turkey so much is they have a high rye mash bill. In other words, it tends to be a spicier pour, which up until recently was not really something that I was all about. But now I'm a changed man. So I'm excited to try this bottle. I've had Wild Turkey 101, just a little 50 ml sample, which was pretty good. It was definitely spicy. I'm interested to try this one. It comes highly recommended. I picked it up over at Grillo's Chop and Barrel in Lake St. Louis. Thanks to Mike, great guy. He'll point you in the right direction for a great bottle. Go ahead and check him out if you haven't already. Today, let's go ahead and dig in. I'm gonna open this up. See, brand new seal and everything. So I'm fairly confident that I'm gonna enjoy this. Okay. 90 proof, 10-year age statement. So 10 years. This bottle was $38 on the shelf. I've seen it $35 to $40 somewhere in there. So that price point for a 10-year-old bourbon, that's really good. You look at this color. I mean, it's great, rich color to it. Some of the bottles, if they're weaker proof or newer, they don't have the depth of flavor or complexity. They look a little waterier or lighter in color, more like apple juice color instead of this rich Amory copper color. Yeah. Speaking of confidence, I wish I had the confidence that my 4-year-old has, my son. The other night, he and my wife were talking about playing Candyland. And he said, "Mom, I'm really good at Candyland." She goes, "Oh, have you ever played before?" No. He just knew. He just knew he was going to be good. So I'm going to go into this thinking this is going to be really good. All right, so let's kind of let it breathe for a moment, do its thing. I know, I need a haircut. Don't worry. It's happening soon. All right, so let's give it a sniff here. Okay. All right, so I'm definitely getting some spice on the nose. Getting more like a oaky or a wood scent to it. Almost kind of like if apple wood literally smelled like apples and wood. That's what this kind of smells like. So like a apple, kind of like an apple pie with a lot of spice, and just let that wood overtone to it as well. Not in a bad way, just so kind of like a drier scent as opposed to, it's not real creamy or fruity. It is a little fruity, but it's not real the caramely vanilla type scent to me. It's a little bit fruity, definitely spicy. So let's take a sip and see what it's like. Okay. Not bad at all. Yeah, really, it's kind of like apple pie, but somebody just sneezed and accidentally dumped too much of the baking spice in at the end. So let's see again. Okay, so this is kind of cool. This flavor is a little bit of a roller coaster. It starts off a little bit creamy on the front, and then fruity tones. Again, I'm getting some apple tones to it. And then all of a sudden, it just takes off with a rocket boost of spice. And it's pretty warm. I can feel the nice Kentucky hug going down. And yeah, it's got a nice warming finish. So it's really like drinking a hot apple pie, fresh out of the oven, still warm. And I'm enjoying it. I will say for a 10-year bourbon, it's a little, the mouthfeel is a little thinner, watery. It's not terrible, but it's just not, it doesn't really coat your tongue a whole lot. It's not super creamy. I think my last video I reviewed Buffalo Trace. That was extremely creamy. This isn't quite like that. It's a little thinner, but then like I said, the ending is very noticeable. It's very strong. To me, it's not overpowering, but I think that's because it's only 90 proof. Now, if this were bumped up 100 proof or even higher than that, that would really be more of a punch in the throat. But at this level, it's pretty nice. Yeah, tell you what, that spice really kind of catches you off guard because it's a nice smooth start and then bam, just nails you. Again, as I've mentioned before, there's a big difference between alcohol burn and a spice kick. This is absolutely just spice. There's no alcohol burn to me at all. If you're brand new to bourbon, you might try it and think, it is burn. Yeah, but the more you get used to it, it's actually more just that spice tone coming through. Very nice bottle for again, 10 years, 90 proof. So not a super high proof. 90 is about as low as I like to go. Below that, it just kind of loses its power, loses its flavor. So that is pretty darn good, especially at the price point. Now it's interesting. I'll post in the comments section the link, or I'll post in the description a link to an article talking about the length of time that a bourbon should be aged. So this one's 10 years. They recommend that bourbon should not be aged more than 8 to 12 years. That has to do with the interaction between the barrel, the wood from the barrel, and the bourbon inside. The longer it sits in there, the more flavor it absorbs from the wood, and with bourbon, it can actually become too flavorful and funky almost, not as enjoyable as you'd think. You'd think, oh, 20-year bourbon, that sounds amazing. It's not quite like Scotch. I'll get more in depth on that another time, but I'll share the article with you now so that you can check that out. Well, this is exciting. I enjoyed getting to try a brand new bottle with you all today. As always, if you enjoy this video, please like it. And if you enjoy the content that I'm putting out, please subscribe to the channel and share it with all your bourbon buddies out there. Until next time, cheers.